I'm Joe Duffy for picks and parlays. The Rams and the Ravens, the Titans and the Raiders. I'm going to have free winning side selections on both of those games on this report. And, I'm really living life on the edge just to tell you how big-time gambler I am. It's a beautiful day at the international headquarters of Joe Duffy's Picks. As I record this in my palatial but not overly ostentatious office, I'm leaving my windows open, so hopefully you won't get any outside noise. I think my neighbor, her lawn service always comes nice and early in the morning, and it's certainly not as I record this. But anyway, we've got two free winners on this report. Make sure you lock in. Man, what a weekend I've got in football, college, and the NFL. Probably the strongest NFL weekend when it comes to wise guy plays, particularly on Sunday. Lots of corroborated information, all that and more. Lock in long-term picks and parlays plus. NBA's here. You know, my fame anti-splits angle wins in every single sport, but it applies so often in the NBA. And what have I been saying? NBA is around the corner, and college basketball is just a couple blocks away. Lock in long time, and lock in long term. Most importantly, like and subscribe to this channel right now. And please, in the comments section, tell me what you want. I've got access to everything. You want me to look up a computer system for you? I will be more than happy to do it. Doesn't have to be in the NFL. Could be in any single solitary sport, because all the American sports have been doing quite well in. All right, why don't we get straight into this action? The Rams and the Ravens. Now, the opener, Rams minus 6.5, 44.5. Of course, when you go to look-ahead line, that's when Lamar Jackson was supposed to play, and as I follow this, he hasn't 100% been ruled out, but we'll see. The odds makers clearly don't think he's playing. Look-ahead line actually had the Ravens, of course, at 5.5, 48.5. Best lines available, again, odds makers clearly think Cooper Rush is starting. Rams minus 7.5, minus 105. You can get the Ravens at plus 7.5, minus 109. You better shop around. You know I love odds logic for shopping for the best lines, as well as the contrarian information I use, although when everything corroborated when I use contrarian information, so I like to tap into every single Las Vegas, stateside, offshore, and even some outlaw sources. So all my contrarian stuff is heavily corroborated, but odds logic is the first place to go for that. Best totals to shop around for: over 45.5 and under 40. Make that 44.5. 44.5, and the best is over and under minus 110, no matter what. All right, the splits on the side. 64% of the bets, but only 37% of the money is on the Ravens. Splits on the total, 73% of the wagers and 77% of the cash on the over. Now, many people will tell you this implies sharp money to betting splits on the Rams. When a larger percentage of money is on a certain side than there is picks, many people say that means sharp money is where the money is. I don't totally agree with that. And again, so many evergreen videos I have planned for you. We'll talk about how to properly use betting splits on a future video, we hope. The sports line has the Rams winning 27-21. Action Network has the Rams minus 6.3. Again, that's just two of the higher profile power ratings that we like to use. About some super systems. Away favorites of more than 3 off of a home loss are 61, 22, and 6. That would obviously favor the Rams. Teams with a winning percentage of 620 or less, but averaging at least 1.1 more yards per play than their opponent is 147, 111, and 6. That would also favor the Rams. Now, this might surprise some people. Admittedly, small sample size. Away favorites off an overtime game are 12-5, unless we're playing on a short week, which in this case we're not, obviously. That would favor the Rams. And yeah, I shouldn't give away all my secrets, but if we do have a team playing on a short week off an overtime game, make sure you get my premium picks and my free picks. We'll see if it rises a level premium, because we don't ever make any pick just based on one and only one system, no matter how good it is. The Ravens are 1-4 ATS, minus 10.8 points on the margin of cover. Some people call it the sweat barometer. That's second worst in the NFL behind the Bengals. Rams are 3-2, but minus 0.1. Now, this sets up an angle that says go with horrific spread teams, and again, that's based on margin of cover, not necessarily the spread record, but horrible spread teams as underdogs. Of course, they're going to be undervalued. Keep telling you, NFL is about regression to the mean. 357, 241, and 18. And that angle would favor the Ravens. All right, underdogs that have not overachieved based on straight-up wins relative to the number of times they've been a favorite. Pretty solid. 12.97, 11.29, and 65. That would favor the Ravens. I do have a subsystem that takes it up a little bit best. And now big dogs that have been outscored by at least 58 points in their last two games. 146, 87, and 6. Yeah, folks, got to win ugly. I'm going to go with the Ravens and Cooper Rush. Kind of a competent quarterback. We'll keep it close. I do like the Ravens. How about the Titans and the Raiders? So open up Las Vegas -6, -119, 41.5 over -112. Look headline Las Vegas -3 and 44.5. So kind of squeezing in the middle. The best lines available: Las Vegas -4 at 110, or Tennessee +4.5 at -108. The best totals: over 41 at -110, under 41.5 at -108. Splits on the side: 61% of the bets, but only 36% of the money on the Titans. Splits on the total: 63% of the wagers and 71% of the cash on the over. Now, this implies sharp money is on the Raiders, according to the way a lot of people evaluate this. Tennessee, 2-3 this year. ATS -6.6 points per game margin of cover. The Raiders are 1-4, -8.5. Cam Ward has certainly given some new life to the Titans, but you got to expect some inconsistency. Young quarterbacks are going to be consistently inconsistent. It's off a pretty solid effort. If he, has a terrible game here, that would be pretty typical of very young quarterbacks early in their career. Sportsline is Vegas winning 25-18, covering 56% of the time. Action Network, the Raiders -4.3. All right, I looked something up, and I was thinking, how about two horrific teams against the spread when they meet? Was expecting maybe there might be something totals-wise. Actually discovered something ATS. See, that's what happens when, you experiment. That's why I'm asking you to ask me. You want me to look up something? I might discover something brilliant. So if you got a theory you want to test, drop it in the comments section, please, and tell me who you like in this game. But when two teams both have negative margins of cover, they're failing to cover by an average of 6.5 points per game. Road underdogs are 61, 31-2. Game 7 or less, a little bit better winning percentage, 59-28. So that would benefit the Titans. Of course, teams off a positive turnover margin versus a team off a -1, 89, 45-3 also benefit the Titans. Going against home teams that won 6 or fewer games the previous year, who are off of a loss of 10 points or more if they allowed more points than expected their last two games. That's based on delta points allowed. We've explained it in previous videos. 43, 15-3. That would favor the Titans. Now, does everything favor the Titans? Absolutely not. Go against a team off a win if it's their third straight road game is 62, 32-2. That's a go with the Raiders. And in fact, home teams playing a team that's playing their third straight road game where there was no bye weeks along the way do pretty well as well. Low totals, if it's their first and or only meeting of the season, tends to go under. 297, 221, and 8. I'm going to go with the Titans as my free pick. So again, I'm going to go with both underdogs, the Titans and the Raiders. Like I said, lock into my packages long term. There is a reason I've been a full-time professional gambler and handicapper since 1988. Again, my youthful good lucks, believe it or not, I graduated college May 8th, 1988. June the 1st, started doing a 900 number, was already betting on the side, started being a full-time handicapper because I showed the boss I knew what the hell I was talking about. And been a professional handicapper and gambler every single day since. Every single day. Well, I guess after 9/11 and during the shutdown of 2020, maybe Unfortunately, took a little bit of time off, but you get the point. Well, that's how I've earned my money, is what I'm saying. But anyway, lock in long-term Joe Duffy's picks at Picks and Parlays. Please, comment, like this video, and you certainly want to subscribe.